You have a message. You want to share that message. You want it to be social, to go viral, and spread across the planet. But how do you get started? Tune into Amplify, featuring host Ken Rochon. This show is here to help you take that message and channel it through the most effective marketing techniques to not only be successful, but have a positive impact on the world. Tune in live
Monday at 8 a.m. Pacific Time and 11 a.m. Eastern Time on the Voice America Influencers Channel.
and get amplified.
Welcome, welcome. Ken Rochon, Voice America Influencer Channel. We are up to a great week already because of a great weekend where we were able to make some differences and even work with a church. So, Andrea, thank you so much for coming down to the Baltimore area to help with that.
Well, it's been fantastic, hasn't it, Ben? We've had so many wonderful opportunities come across for us. It's been amazing, and we keep on smiling.
So let's give a shout out to, first of all, Stafford Sutton, Dr. Stafford Sutton, for
Absolutely fantastic,
making
man.
really a huge donation in video equipment and just being a great friend and supporting us. And I just look forward to a great 2021 with him. Happy New Year. And let's talk about our sponsors.
Well, I did want to share what happened, what they gave us. So
Mhm.
a year and a half ago, I wrote a $23 million business plan for the Keep Smiling movement because we have really big ambitions on how we want to change people's lives, give them positivity, set them in the direction of mental and dental health all over the world. And part of that was we wanted to start filming, doing a reality TV show. We wanted to do social media shorts and do all this wonderful stuff. So I envisioned two dollies with two big video cameras in the studio that we already have so that we could do this amazing opportunity to really create more of an outreach because we're right at BWI Airport. We can have celebrities and influencers fly in, do these great spots, and then create positivity in the world. Well, what did we receive? Two dollies with two video cameras so that we can actually create the reality. So I just want to remind people that when you set an intention and you believe in it and you will it to happen, amazing things come forth. Ken and I have been able to really will and manifest destiny bigger than we ever thought we would for the Keep Smiling movement. It's just been wonderful.
I mean, one of the
So,
most recent things we willed was creating a possibility that Mark Porteous and David Riklan could be on the show. I mean, how crazy is that?
yes, and they are going to be. And first, we're going to thank our sponsors, Opus.finance. Opus is spelled OPES. They're a globalized, decentralized processing system using blockchain. And we have a new technology on blockchain that allows people to have access to funding and lending that they never thought possible. So it's for the people, by the people, Opus.finance. We also want to thank Voice America Influencers Channel for this show and for the airwaves, and the Red Carpet Connection, the Umbrella Syndicate, Perfect Publishing, Exploring Expression, and Big Events USA, and Live and Air. So we are really excited about getting ready to use that new software. Hopefully that'll be in place next week, and we'll be using that. And it's pronounced Live and Air. I'm going to get that straight this time.
Well, let's bring our guest.
Our
I'm excited.
fabulous guest. Well, so am I. Well, we've had Mark Porteous on before. So I'm going to first introduce David and then we'll bring Mark on. So David is pretty awesome because he's not only the president and founder of the Self-Improvement Online Inc. It's a leading provider in self-improvement and personal growth information on the internet, things that we love for the Keep Smiling movement. And his company was founded in 1997 and maintains multiple websites, self-improvement, natural health, marketing, and sales. And his premier self-improvement website, selfgrowth.com, gets millions of visitors each year and has received over 1 million unique visitors since it was created. Now, his company also publishes 2 emails newsletters that go out to over 275,000 weekly subscribers. That is an awesome number. And on the topics of self-improvement, success, health, relationships, and finances. And he personally has published over 10 books on self-improvement, including his number one, it's like referred to as the encyclopedia of the top 101 experts who help us improve our lives, master our world of selling, and the 101 great ways to improve your life series. Now, this gentleman has done multiple hundreds, literally, of other collaboration books with greats like Zig Ziglar and Brian Brian, Tracy, and people that we've been very fortunate to have Keep Smiling pictures of. So David, let me first get your camera on so that we can see you. So we can go ahead and say hi. It'll just be a second before I can get you on because technology is not working with me. Here we go. Yes, it is. Welcome to the show, David.
Thank you. Excited to be here, and I'm smiling.
Yes, you are. And
As you should.
I have not read your 10 books, so I'm eager to check out those and have a new conversation with you at a future date to hopefully include you doing the Keep Smiling Dose of Hope. And are any of those 10 books, are any of them a riddle book or a joke book? Because I just have this inclination that you would do a great joke book.
No, but it's on the list.
It is on the list. Well, I have a joke book called the No Nonsense Book on Nonsense. So I'll make sure you get a copy of that sent to you. And then we can do some book exchanges. I'm guessing that you were younger before and like a child and then a baby backwards, right?
Yes, started as a baby. I'm older, and I'll be older tomorrow.
Okay. Well, we're always interested, and our guests are always interested, our audience is always interested. How did someone become who they are? So would you mind sharing where you were born and what your childhood was like and how that might have been relevant to what you chose to do in your life?
Sure. Born and raised in Yonkers, New York, just half an hour north of New York City, in the suburbs. It was a traditional suburban, childhood. I was the youngest of three, which is a lot of fun, especially when you're firstborn boy. So that's a lot of fun. But I'd say in terms of my life and trajectory and where I ended up, there was a turning point. I could take a minute and share that. It was a course that I had taken from Dale Carnegie called Effective Speaking in Human Relations. And I took that right after college, maybe a year or two after college. And that was really the turning point for me in terms of my trajectory and what I'm doing right now.
Very cool. And so that was around the college time. So you are fast speed up to what you're doing now. That would be a little too fast of a speed. So why don't we take it to how did you actually get into the field you're in right now? And if you could just share maybe a hiccup or two of what you had to do to overcome a challenge.
Oh, absolutely. So, like many people, went to college, finished college, and shortly thereafter, I actually have a chemical engineering degree. So, a very analytical mind. But I also like people. So, I like interacting with people. So, I fit, what's the best thing to do? If you like the science background, you like people, I ended up going to work for Hewlett Packard, selling to scientists and engineers. And that looked like my calling. I was going to be into technology. I was going to live that life and kind of grow up in the technology, sales, and marketing world. One of the things that happened shortly after going to work for Hewlett Packard is they sent me to a course called the Effective Speaking in Human Relations. And this was the Dale Carnegie course that I mentioned. And it's really designed to make you more effective. So public speaking is a good part of it. Human relations, getting along better with people, motivating people, things like that. And I remember when I took this course, there was somebody in the course that was sitting all the way in the back and the side. And she looked very, very shy. She didn't really look like she belonged there. She was very quiet, kept to herself and sitting in the corner. And this is a woman who was clearly an introvert, didn't even look like she was part of this program or part of the class. And I saw her over the course of this 14-week course go from this shy woman in the side of the corner to being a powerhouse. And at the end of the 14-week course, she actually ended up running for public office in New York City.
Wow, that's crazy.
And I watched what can best be described as this transformation, or I love the word transmogrification, but it was really a transforming of this woman, a complete transforming of everything about her, her energy, who she was. And I just love this concept that someone post-career, post-college, or they're in their life can make such a dramatic transformation. And I said, I want to be part of this. I love this concept. I love the fact that we can continue to improve our lives. And I asked the Dale Carnegie instructor, I said, is there any way I could continue taking this or participate? And they said, you can be an assistant for free and come back and take the course again. And I was assistant for free and I came back and take it. And I eventually ended up being a part-time Dale Carnegie instructor because I love this concept. And I started consuming things from Brian Tracy and Zig Ziglar and Wayne Dyer, and I just consumed it. And in the back of my head, somewhere, somehow in my life, I wanted to incorporate self-improvement into a business that I was going to run with. Fast forward, the internet started becoming popular in the 90s, mid 90s. I bought a website, a domain name in 1995, selfgrowth.com. Started posting information on self-improvement, personal growth. People started coming to the website, and I just ran with it. And that's my story. And it's kept me motivated, excited ever since I did this back in the 90s.
So it sounds like not too many hiccups. You've had a good ride with self-growth. And what did you have to overcome? Is there anything that was an obstacle?
Oh, countless obstacles along the way. Many, many obstacles. I'd say the biggest obstacle was relatively early on. And for anybody who has a business and does email marketing, this is a story to pay attention to. I started building up this business at the beginning, and we started building up partners, other website owners who wanted to be part of selfgrowth.com, and we're building up this nice little email list. And at the time, they didn't really have anything like Aweber or Constant Contact. They didn't have sophisticated tools to send out emails. So I was using what was called, they're comparable to a listserv. It's a very simple concept. I'd send an email out and it would be distributed to everybody in the list. And this is a couple years into doing the business. I was still part-time. I was doing it in the evenings and on the weekends, doing it part-time. And I'd periodically send an email to everybody on my list. And these were all my advertisers and partners, everybody who was important to my business. And one particular day, I sent out an email to the list. And suddenly someone on the list replied to me saying, "Thanks for the update, David. Looking forward to working with you." And that email went to everybody on the whole list. So it didn't just go to me, it went to the few thousand people that I had on the list, but all key people. And then a few minutes later, somebody else came back and said, "Hey, why am I getting this email? Why am I getting a copy of it? This is crazy. I shouldn't get a copy of it." And that went to everybody on the list. And then 10 minutes later, somebody else said, "What are you guys, stupid? I can't believe you're doing this." That went to everybody else on the list. And the emails started getting angrier and angrier and angrier. And within a 4-hour period, there must have been 30 or 40 emails that went back and forth. My list was devastated. My advertisers didn't want to deal with me. And it was a pretty big setback. It probably set me back a good 2 years in terms of my business. But I relented.
And what caused it?
I still don't know, some technology glitch. I switched email systems after that and figured it out. It was just bad technology.
Okay. And fast forward, you've had partnerships before?
Many, many partnerships. So I'd say
And
partnership.
what makes them?
What's that?
I was going to say, what makes them work?
The main thing that makes them work for me is, and I don't like using this word all the time, but a synergy. And for me, a synergy is something where we're both benefiting. And really, I'll go back to kind of 7 Habits. One of my favorite books is Stephen Covey, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, where they're looking for a win-win. But I'm really looking for things that I'd say are win-win-win. So if I have a partnership with someone, I want to benefit, I want them to benefit, but I want there to be some benefit to other people outside of us as well. So it's really, I'm looking for a triple win with everything that I'm doing.
And I want to kind of glance over your books just real quick, just to see, one, how they change your life, but secondly, which book did you start with? Why did you start with that one? And we'll lead to some other book questions.
The first book I wrote was really designed to help me build my business. So at the time, I launched this website, selfgrowth.com. It was a self-improvement website. And I said, if I want to publish information on self-improvement, I should know who all the top players in the industry are. I should know what they do for a living. I should know what their products and services are. I should have all this information. So I started looking for a book that was almost like a mini encyclopedia on the self-improvement industry. And had information on who people like Tony Robbins were, and Carolyn Mace, and all the top players of Stephen Covey. I couldn't find anything like this. And I searched high and low for a book like this. And I said, you know what? This is something I want. I assume other people would want it as well. So I started doing the research and the homework, and it led to my first book, which was Self-Improvement, the top 101 experts who help us improve our lives. And it was a great tool for me, and it was a great tool for other people, but it really got me started in publishing.
Well, I have a project I want to talk to you about after the show. It's called the 50 Book Challenge. So I'd be interested how we integrate a 50 book challenge using that particular theme. And the idea is if people buy a book or they get it from the library and they just spend only 1 hour looking at that book, and the next week they use another hour to do a new book, they're going to be a different person at the end of that. I use the quote with Charlie Trebendis Jones, the difference in where you are today and where you'll be 5 years from now are the books you read and the people you meet. So I think what you have there from your first book would be a real good rekindling of some great information and updating
Sure.
it. I just had someone refer Dale Carnegie's book, Influencing People
How to Win Friends and Influence People.
in a Digital Age.
Mm-hmm. In a
That's
digital age. I
yeah,
like
so
it.
so that's the new one. I've listened to the other one on audio and read it, but this one I'm looking forward to. So I'm getting that this week on Audible. So, what are you reading right now?
What am I reading right now? So I'm actually rereading a book, Gary Chapman, The Five Love Languages,
Yeah, it's a great one.
which is a great book. I never finished it. I skimmed it. I probably did that 1 hour that you talked about, but now I'm delving in a little more deeply with it.
So now you'll have the other three languages.
Yes, yes. I got through the first 1.5, so I got 3.5 more to go.
The
All right,
gentleman who
and
wrote the Five Love Languages and Work Appreciation, he's going to be on our show in a little bit. So he took off of that and then expanded upon that. So he'll be on in the next couple of weeks.
Great.
so look at that. Creating, manifesting. All right, so 2021, you wanted to manifest something. There's going to be a bit of a segue for Mark to get on the come on the show. So, what were you creating last year during COVID? Was this prompted by a pivot that you created this JV directory?
I'd say it's less of a pivot than more of a fulfillment of something that I thought was necessary for business owners. So you asked me a little bit about partnerships before. I'm a strong believer in partnerships. Partnerships are really a key to success in business. And for me, a partnership, or what we're calling a joint venture, is any opportunity where you're working with another person, another company to help build your business. That's the core. And one of the challenges that I found is really two things: is finding the right people, to partner with, and it's really a big challenge. And then working with them in an effective way to grow your business. And for me, it's always been a challenge. Who are we going to work with? What's the best approach to it? Who do you really need to grow your business? What's the partnership going to look like? So what Mark and I endeavored to create is something we call our joint venture directory, which is basically a tool that enables you to find people to partner with to grow your business.
Well, very cool. So we're going to segue to Andrea bringing Mark on, as well as giving a link that people can go to check out the JV directory. And then there's going to be another link we need to put in the show notes, I guess, for upcoming event you have Wednesday, 5 to 7, if I recall.
Yes. Yep.
Okay, Andrea?
Absolutely. Yeah. So let me first bring Mark on camera, just a moment, so that you guys can see who I'm talking about. It just makes it so much more fun because he's just absolutely adorable. Did I just say that? Yes, I did, because you are. So let's ask him to start his video. And Mark Porteous, this is who you're seeing, the Soul Connector. He's a husband, the father of twins, a joint venture strategist, an affiliate concierge, and the co-founder of the Soul Affiliate Alliance. Transformational leaders hire Mark to reach more people with their message by developing soulful alliances so they can make a greater impact on the world while enjoying more freedom and ease in their own lives. So markporteous.com is his website. Mark, welcome to the show for a second time.
Wonderful to be back. I was just looking at my notes, and it was actually 1 year ago in February 11th of 2020 that we were here, and how things have changed.
Yes, they have. We didn't know what was going to hit us next, did we, Mark?
No idea.
The event you had last February.
Yeah.
Go ahead and share the name of that.
Sure. There's the Soulful Leadership Retreat in Orlando. Last year it was in Orlando. This year, again, it's just coming up 1 month from today, and it'll be virtual this time.
And that event changed my life. I was in a a quandary of whether I was supposed to go to the Philippines and see a country I had not seen, speak in that country. And you came into my periphery and I said, you know what? This is feeling soulful, connected leadership. I'm going to opt to go. And so I canceled my Philippine opportunity to be with you, and it changed my life. So what a great event. And I'm looking forward to the virtual event. And I'm looking forward to playing with you with this JV directory and all the events that are going to occur as a result of that conversation. So thank you.
Me too, absolutely. I'm really excited about it. And you had mentioned that link before. It's the same link for both. So we'll give one link that will give people so that they can come to the event tomorrow. And from that, also be able to find out about the JV directory.
Wednesday.
Yes, Wednesday. I'm over there.
Okay, so it would be, let's see, the JV directory .com/amp.
Yeah. So selfgrowth.com/amp, AMP, like amp.
Very good. Okay, so Mark, since people may or may not have heard your show last year, and we can certainly put a link to that, why don't you give a little bit of a recap of who you are? And again, thank you very much for participating in the Keep Smiling Movement's chapter and book. Your inspirational book had really a collective of some of my favorite people in the world. So, and that event was just one of those events where it doesn't matter who you bump into the event, you're going to have your life change. So what a great event. It was 60 or 75 people, and every single person I wanted to stay in touch with.
Yeah.
So share about who you are, where you're born, your childhood a little bit, but encapsulate a little more so we can talk soon about what you guys are doing together.
Sure, absolutely. So when you say who am I, first and foremost, I'm a father of twins. Currently they're 10. They'll be 11 in April, and husband of 18 years. My wife Renee is also my business and life manager. We work together with many other transformational leaders in the industry to help them to reach a broader audience. So she's also the one who's helping to coordinate the live event, the Soulful Leadership Retreat. And basically, just like David, my whole business has been built on joint venture partnerships and collaborating in different ways. And what I have found was that the most important thing is really about resonance. And so being able to attract people that are on the same mission is my whole goal. And so that's what the whole Soulful Leadership Retreat was about, was really about bringing other people that are here on the same mission to raise the consciousness of the planet. And it was very interesting because it was actually 2 years or 1 year before that, in the very same room where I had my event at the Rosen Shingle Creek Resort, that I met David for another event. It was the JVology event, and he flew in for that. So it was just very interesting.
Good old Jay, huh? That's what Jay Facette? Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Well, I have
the synchronicities of how one relationship leads to another, and the same thing happened with you and I connecting.
Exactly. I wanted to have a couple quick little sidebar, real quick questions. But one is, when is that event coming up?
The 11th through 13th, February 11th through 13th, 2021.
Okay. So we'll do a link on that as well. And then there were two people specifically I wanted to give a very short shout out to that I met at your event. One would be Alan Davidson.
Mm-hmm.
So if you just say who he is to you really quickly.
Sure. Alan Davidson is one of my mentors, a dear friend. I was introduced to him in 2013. He was at the registration desk for Marcia Weeder's event, another one of my mentors. And I assumed he was just a volunteer. It wasn't until I went to my next event at Margaret Lynch's Ignite event in Fort Lauderdale that I met him again and found out he was the joint venture strategist for both of those launches. And again, he's become a close mentor. It's just very interesting because he's actually an evolutionary mystic meditation teacher who happens to be a world-class JV launch manager,
as well as quite the entertainer on stage.
Yes,
if he's on stage, you have engagement and you have great content, and you have, if you put any of it into action, you will have a more abundant life, period. And then the other person I want to give a shout out to, because she's had a huge effect and impact, or not just my life, but the Keep Smiling movement, would be Dr. Janet Smith Warfield. So if you can give just a short who she is to you.
Sure, absolutely. Well, her whole book is around communicating and the use of words. And so I've always been very fascinated by and her book has been translated into many different languages, but she's also somebody who's on the same mission to raise consciousness of the planet through communication, through the way that we communicate with each other. And we originally connected through one of Barbara Marx Hubbard's groups, and again, another one of my life mentors. With the whole idea of this shift in humanity that I think we're now experiencing. It's an up-leveling of consciousness, and in that process, we run into a lot of conflict and turmoil. So the idea of using our words effectively is more important than ever before.
Yeah, she's definitely a proponent of the giving and receiving conversation, so the transactional conversation. And her website, for those of you who want to check out what she's up to, is planetarypeacepowerandprosperity.com. And last thing about her real quickly, David, she had a book there at the event and she was giving them away. And the book happened to be my favorite word, shift, because my first Keep Smiling book said, keep smiling, shift happens. And as you know, if you're not smiling, you have a different experience with the universe. When you are smiling, you shift the universe to actually create abundance with you, play with you, and have fun with you. So when she gave me the book, I said, well, thank you. This is an amazing gift because it has my favorite word on it. And she says, well, I have extra copies. And I said, no. You printed extra copies to give. Like, it wasn't an accident that she had extra copies, and that's her mentality of, I have more, I want to give what I'm saying to the world. So let's talk about what you guys are creating this year, 2021. I guess we'll go back to you, David. So talk about how this partnership and how the platform will work to help people not just pivot, but no matter what they're doing in life, will cause them to have a new experience in abundance.
All right, be happy to do that. Mark and I last year sat down and we were trying to figure out, what do people need if you have a business? So we're very focused on business owners, whether they be small business owners, solopreneurs, entrepreneurs. What do they need? Who do they need to get in touch with? Who do they need to have partnerships with? And we really identified the main areas. And we identified 5 different areas that were important for folks. And what we wanted to do is bring the information from those 5 different areas together in one place, so people can identify these people, find these people, and work with them. And that was really the kind of the core of what we're doing. And I could start with it. I'll give a start, and then we can kind of finish up in a little bit. But
well, I'll tell you what, this is actually a nice cliffhanger, David.
Okay.
Because we can go to break right now, and people are going to be on the edge of their seat. They're going to be about to hit the JV button, and we're going to come back and let them hear how they play. Andrea? Mute.
Opus.finance, we want to thank for being a decentralized global cryptocurrency, crypto blockchain, or blockchain that we can have for the people, by the people, and Voice America Influencers Channel, Perfect Publishing, the Red Carpet Connection, the Umbrella Syndicate, and of course, I didn't say earlier, our charity of choice is the Keep Smiling movement, and we're always looking for donations so that we can continue to give to others, not only with publishing and with the Keep Smiling cards and with our presentations, but we also provide guided meditation and hypnosis to help people overcome limiting beliefs so that they can stand in resiliency and stay positive no matter what challenges face them. And the donations can be made through PayPal at Keep Smiling Movement, or go to www.thekeepsmilingmovement.com, and we'll be back after these messages.
All clear.
All right, you guys, I will be challenging you to come up with a great chicken across the road joke by the end of the show. All right. And my son has a book called, let me see if I can get that done. There we go. It's Kenny's Favorite Jokes.
Mm-hmm.
And I will probably read this on the air, even though Facebook might be hearing it right now. My son's joke about,
that's okay.
Yep. So his is, why did the wabbit cross the road?
To get to the other wide?
Not bad. Because he was stuck to the car's wheel. That's why.
I laughed so hard when I read that one.
Yeah, my son came up with all these originals.
10 seconds, guys.
So 10 seconds. So I won't read the other one because there's just not enough time.
All right, here we go.
This is Amplified. To reach the show today, please call 1-866-472.
5795.
That's 1-866-472-5795.
795.
We also would love to hear from you via email to info@umbrellasyndicate.com. Now, back to Amplify.
All right, this is Ken Rochon on Amplified and Influencer Channel, and we have a great show and a great conversation with Mark and David about how to JV, joint venture, and create really synergistic abundance together. And they have a great platform that we just joined. And from what we see so far, we are on for a great ride for creating a whole new vertical for our Keep Smiling movement. And I think it's great for nonprofits. So Andrea, give a little shout out to our sponsors. And if you'd like to lead with the first question, since you have had a chance to look at the platform too.
Oh, absolutely. Sorry, I was looking at sponsor information just real quick again. Opus.finance, the Umbrella Syndicate, the Red Carpet Connection, Voice America Influencers Channel, and again, our charity of choice is the Keep Smiling movement. And Ken, I want to make sure everybody knows where they can go for the link for what we're talking about, because you want to, I'm telling you, all of you want to, I'll have to get back with them on the event. We'll put that as a follow-up for them. And you can always reach out to us as well. But for the JV directory, because you guys know that Ken and I have been, solidifying partnerships for years. So it was so funny that he and I actually started pulling our directories together, and we're talking about doing something like this when lo and behold, here Mark and David had something started. Why start something new when the wheel has already been invented? So we jumped on board, and our link for that is www.selfgrowth.com/amp. And my first question is why would somebody want to be in this directory?
All right, Mark, do you want to handle that, or you want me to jump in?
I'll let you go for it.
All right, it's a very simple question, and it really speaks to the core of what we're doing. We wanted to provide a tool where people can figure out who they need to work with, who these people are, and how to contact them to build a relationship of one sort or another that's going to help build their business. And if you'd like it, one of the things we've done is we've stepped through and identified the types of people that we feel it's important to have a relationship with or know about to build your business. And we brought these 5 groups all into one directory so people can identify who they are and contact them. And if it makes sense, I could just take a minute or two and step you through the kind of the 5 pieces, or what we call the 5 legs of the joint venture directory.
Excellent.
Please do.
All right, I'll jump in. So relative to building a business, we've identified these 5 legs. And the first, in terms of what we consider joint ventures, and remember, joint ventures, very broadly speaking, is the opportunity to find people to work with to grow your business. So it's a very broad definition of joint ventures. So the first leg is what we call traditional joint venture partners. And what we mean by that are people you can work with to mutually grow your businesses. So for example, there might be people in your industry that have access to similar type of clients that you're working with, where you can come up with a relationship where you recommend them, you recommend their products and services, and they recommend your products or services. Or a situation like this, where we're working together, we're going to help promote what you're doing, Ken and Andrea are doing, and in exchange, you help promote what we're doing. We're on your platform right now. So the first thing is really traditional joint venture partners, where you can find people to mutually promote each other. Another thing that we found is important to growing your business is getting the word out. And by getting the word out, it's really identifying potential platforms or places to promote what you're doing. And what we've done as part of this joint venture directory is we've identified, and we're bringing in resources for people who want to get on podcasts or want to get on telesummits or want to be on a webinar of some sort. So in this one directory, you can find potential people to partner with, these joint venture partners, and you can find things like podcasts or telesummits or webinars to get the word out on what you're doing.
Can I cut in real quick?
Sure, jump right in.
So the podcasters, that's obviously of interest to us for several reasons. One, we know that our nonprofit does way better when we're in a lot of podcasts, and people that really do well with book launches need to know the relationships with podcasters to help get the word out. So how many do you have on this platform?
So the goal is to get 1,000 podcasters in as quickly as possible. We have roughly 150 podcasts that are available right now that people can find and search. And the way we have it set up, it's very broadly, we're tackling what we describe as the self-improvement industry. So the real focus are people who are kind of mission driven that want to help people improve their lives one way or another. So improving their lives can be improving their health, their finances, relationship. It could be business tools to help them improve their business. It could be spiritual tools to help them improve some level of spirituality or lifestyle or things like that. But the goal is really to build and increase the number of podcasters and potential joint venture partners to meet.
All right. If I can cut in, just say that the first thing you talked about, just the traditional helping one another, when you join up for this, I believe it's a year and a half membership you're getting out of the gate. Is that correct?
Yes, it's the way we have it set up is you join for a year. It's a very simple concept. You join the directory for a 1 year period. And when you join, you put information about who you are, what your business is about, who you want to partner with, what you're looking for, what kind of tools you're looking for, what kind of tools you can provide. And then the next step after you put in all your information is you can either search for people or people can search for you. And once you find somebody you're interested in working with, we provide tools to enable you to contact them. So
And the reason
go ahead.
David, the reason I wanted to interject that, I know you were on a flow with the 5, but the reason I want to interject that is because when you have just that one thing is available, just that by itself for a membership for 1 year, you meet one person that you can do a JV with, you could have your bills cut in half. You could have a whole new income stream. And not to mention, you have momentum for a 2022 that's going to be just that much more abundant. So the podcast, I love because we have our authors and our speakers and our clients that need to be on podcasts. So just that avenue by itself could change their success. And as you know, if you're doing a book and you're not getting your book out there, you stop doing books. But if you have a success with a book, you have a real incentive to continue and get better at making impact in the world. So that's why I want to just take a second to take those two. Go ahead.
All right, no problem. Let me go back to something that you mentioned earlier. So one of the things that we do to help facilitate the interaction and finding people to work with is we have these business networking meetings. And we host these every month. And it's a very simple concept. We bring literally hundreds of people together who want to do joint ventures or are looking for potential podcasts to be on or are looking for products and services to promote. We bring these people together on a Zoom meeting. And then we break people up into groups and we give people an opportunity. And we do this every month. The reason I want to mention this again is this is one of the tools that we use to get people working with each other. And we have one coming up in a couple of days, you mentioned earlier. I want to give out the link one more time. And it's selfgrowth.com, SELFGROWTH, selfgrowth.com/AMP. And what I'd suggest, we have one coming up very soon on Wednesday. But if for any reason you can't make this one, you want to make another one in the future, sign up for this one and we'll invite you to the next one. But it's a good opportunity to kind of get a sense of what we're doing and how it works and to find and identify potential people to work with right away.
And the fact that you have a couple hundred people attending, you already have an approach or networking that would really solidify that there's so much value here.
Yeah, the goal is very simple. We want to help you find people to work with to grow your business as quickly as possible. And we want you to find not only people to work with, but the right people to work with. You know, the right people who are going to really put you in a position to not only grow your business, but help them as well.
So I think there's so much value just in 1 and 2. Let's just forget about the other 3.
We can focus on those 2.
No,
I can add the other 3 in, whatever you want to do.
Actually, I want to hear the other 3, and I want my audience to hear it too.
All right. So the next piece of the puzzle that we wanted to include here are what we call business to business, B2B service providers. And here's the core concept. Anybody who's run a business realizes that partnerships are good. You also want to get on a platform, but in a lot of cases, you need to get things done to grow your business. You need a place you need a website. So you need someone to build a website for you. You might need copy that's written for the website. So you need someone to write copy for you. You need a place to host the website, or you might need a way to send out emails, or you might need to know about how to put up your own podcast like you guys have. You might want to learn about tools like Voice America. You might want to learn about Facebook and social media marketing and different tools. So in addition to the first 3 sections, these joint venture partners that you can meet and the podcasters and the platform, we're putting together as part of this a directory of service providers. So in essence, if you're looking for someone to help you build a funnel or write copy or build a website, what we're doing is incorporated right into the same joint venture directory information about all these other tools, so you can easily find someone who's a good fit to help you build your business. And these are really three core pieces. So between the joint ventures, the business partners, and the podcasters and service providers, those three things are really designed to help you can step up your business.
Super. And let's say someone wants to write a book. There's people that can JV to help get that done as well, right?
Absolutely. So there's two approaches to it. One, there's potential people you want to partner with to do it, if you want to write a book. And there's also people you might want to hire. So for example, you might want to take a course in how to write a book, or you might have written a book and you need to do layout for the book. You need a cover design for the book, or you have the cover, you have the layout, and you need someone to help market the book. So the goal is really to help you find all the people you might need, regardless of what spot you are with your business right now.
So of the 10 books that you've written, have any of them have a correlation or a must read to help be more successful on this platform?
On the joint venture part, they're not really designed for joint ventures, but I'd probably still recommend, I still love my first book, which is the Top 101 Experts. And that kind of piggybacks into the fourth area. So I mentioned really 5 legs to it. So the first 3 we talked about. The fourth one are industry leaders and influencers. And one of the things we realized, and this is for anybody who has any kind of business, that if you want to be successful in your business, it's important to look at and study the most successful people in your industry. So what we're doing is we're providing information in this directory about who the top players are. You can find out what their business model is, with their website. You can find out their social media. And the goal is to enable you to quickly find who the top players in your niche are, what they're doing, what the competition's doing, and then model it. And I'm a big believer in modeling to be successful. So the 4 things I mentioned: joint ventures, business to business, the podcasters, and the industry leaders. And that's kind of the 4th piece of the puzzle. And for me, that's kind of a good approach to build your business.
And there's a 5th one, right?
There is a 5th one. And the 5th one, I'll delve a little bit more deeply into the industry. One of the things that we've seen relative to kind of self-improvement, personal growth, the whole health, wellness industry, is there's a lot of people who promote products and services on the internet, on the web. So the internet's a really important part of how people promote it. And you can buy a ton of products and services on the internet. And there's a concept called affiliate marketing. And I'm sure both of you know about it, but I'll share it with some of your listeners. And it's a very simple concept. There might be a product or service that you like. And what you can do is contact, in many cases, the company that sells it and develop what's called an affiliate relationship with them. Here's the very simple concept. Amazon.com does this. You find a product and you can get a unique link or a unique website to go to, where if you send people to that website and they buy the product, you get a percentage of the sale. So it's kind of a referral program. It's traditionally called affiliate marketing in the internet space. And what we realize is affiliate marketing is a great way for business owners to make money. And it's a simple concept. Relative to your audience, you figure out what products and services that you don't currently sell would be of interest to them. You become an affiliate of one of these companies, you recommend it to your audience, and then you can generate more income. So we incorporated top affiliate marketers. So what we've done is we've identified, and we're continuing to identify, some of the top programs that you can sign up for, referral programs, and you can generate income. So the goal is really, in addition to the joint venture partners, the service providers, podcasters, and the industry leaders, to help you find who the top affiliate marketers so you can generate more revenue for your business.
Right. Quick question about your book. It's on Amazon, right? All your books are on Amazon?
All the books are on Amazon for sure. Yep.
And the second question is, since you know that we're a nonprofit and we're joining because we see the value of the JV directory for our nonprofit, can you speak to, since a lot of our clients and audiences are nonprofit driven, how they benefit?
Absolutely. So one of the main ways in general with our joint venture directory and also with our networking is to find potential people who can help get the word out on your nonprofit. And that's really a key piece of it. And one of the things that I find particularly interesting and very important is for people to give back. And a lot of these nonprofits provide that opportunity. And one of the things we're going to be incorporating to the joint venture directory is information about nonprofits, because we want people to be able to find and identify nonprofits that they can give back to, whether it's giving back financially or giving back with time, or for me, one of my favorite nonprofits has always been the American Red Cross. So for me, I've given money to the American Red Cross. I've given blood multiple times over the years. So one of the goals for the joint venture directory is not only to enable business owners to connect and build their business, but to help get the word out on nonprofits to help them really build a better world.
Okay, so someone joins the JV directory and they fill out their profile. Tell me, for them listening, they join, what is the most powerful things they can do in that profile and the first week to make sure they're going to, because you know as well as I do, when you get in, you sign up, you sometimes say, I'll get to it later.
Sure.
And it actually perpetuates you not actually getting any of the value you could have gotten. So can you talk about why your first week or your first day on JV directory has to be the strongest day to get the momentum?
Absolutely. So I mentioned it's really a three-step process to effectively use the directory. The first step, very simple. You put all your information in there so people can find you. The second step is you identify potential people to work with. And then the third step is you reach out to them. You reach out to them by email through our system. And relative to these three steps, you need to really start by putting your best foot forward and by putting the right and most effective information about yourself. And I can give you an example of the types of information that we ask people to share. So we ask you to share what I consider basic information that you find in any profiles, whether it be a LinkedIn profile or any business profiles. A summary of your business, what the best way to contact you are, things like that, who you are and what you're about. So we really urge you to put that information up. You want to put a picture up, things like that. But the two core things that we ask you to share with people are relative to this concept of joint venture. Who do you want to work with? So here's really a key thing. Who are you looking to work with to grow your business? So you need to think through, all right, I want to grow my business. What do I need to do that? And it might mean you need someone who's willing to send out an email to promote what you're doing. Or it might mean you're looking for someone to be an affiliate and promote you. It might mean you want to be on a podcast and you're looking to be on a podcast. So you want to put out who specifically you're looking to partner with. And this is really a key thing. So what you need and who you're looking to partner with. Equally important to this, and perhaps more important, is what you bring to the table. How can you benefit them? So an example of why this is important is people will care a lot more about helping you if they know how you're going to help them. So the more benefit, people are looking for mutually beneficial opportunities. So if you're going in there and saying, well, I need this and I need A, B, C, and D, and I need people to send me this, and I need you to write this for me, without giving any information about what you're going to provide for them, it's going to not only leave people with a bad taste in their mouth, but it's not going to be effective. So we have a spot within the directory where you literally put in not only who you want to work with and what you're looking for, but what you can provide for and bring to the table. So this way, it makes it much easier for people to find someone who's a really good connection for them. So that would be kind of the next piece of the puzzle in terms of what I'd focus on putting in.
Very good. I think Andrea had one more question. Then we're going to head to rapid fire. Mark, you're going to be participating in that, if you recall, the rapid fire, quick questions, quick answers, okay? I think David has proven why he's a great partner for you is because whether one or the others here, you're speaking the language that either of you would speak to help our audience and your future clients become successful on your site. So Andrea, did you have one final question?
Nope.
You're on.
I did. And it's kind of self-serving because, when we all started talking about the directory, Mark and David, why should people sign up with Ken and I? I mean, what made you guys reach out to us? And I think it's important to people understand the impact of all of us together, us four.
Absolutely. You want to take that, Mark?
Sure, I love that. And again, David went over the whole idea of that it is about connecting people together, bringing people together. The idea that we've set it up as an affiliate program, so there is a first and second tier affiliates. The people that you bring in are the people that you want to play with. And that is really the big piece, is that we want to know how the lineage is, how people are all connected. And also, so that way, again, when you refer people, we can pay you and you can use that to keep running the Keep Smiling movement and all the other fabulous stuff that you're doing. So when people sign up under you, a piece of that can go to your movement as well.
I would almost call it a game of contribution, because it is incentivized. I get that. But the point is, if you don't share it with people that you want to work with, you're actually cheating both of you of an experience that would cause abundance. So incentivize is definitely wonderful because it does add a little fuel and a little gamification to it. But really, you're taking care of the people you care about.
Yeah.
And the other part too is I wanted to mention that with Ken and I, you become part of the Keep Smiling movement. You become a Keep Smiling ambassador if you choose to, and most people choose to. We've never had a celebrity say no to being a part of us, and we have over 10,000 people photographed for the Keep Smiling movement. And then on top of that, you're with the Umbrella Syndicate and Perfect Publishing and the Red Carpet Connection and Ignite Your Relationships. So you end up being expanded and attached to other partnerships that you don't even realize sometimes because of all the other things that Ken and I do in the world. So I wanted to make sure people understood that it's not just about connecting with us, it's about connecting with people all over the world so that you can get your message or your movement out greater than you ever dreamed possible.
So if you're getting this invite from a natural connector, you're getting someone that's actually going to help you facilitate those connections on the JV directory too. Like you say, oh, you know what? You should connect with so-and-so on the site. I brought you here. This is a great connection for you right there on the site. So that is just one more thing. David, I have to say, it's almost indistinguishable who you are being and who Barry Shore is being. I mean, you guys are both like the ambassadors of joy. You are off the charts with joy and happiness.
I like it. He's a good person to be aligned with.
Yes, he is. Well, we only have a couple minutes, so this is fast question, fast answer. So I'll start. A book that changed your life, David.
The book that probably had the biggest impact is called Illusions by Richard Bach. If you haven't read it, pick up a copy of it. I love that book. It impacted
Short
me.
answers, young man. Short answers.
Go.
We got a couple more.
Go.
All right, Mark. Just the book and the author, if you like.
Untethered Soul, Michael Singer.
Okay, Andrea.
And I want to know what song you play when you want to really get jazzed up and moving.
David.
I still listen to the Rocky theme song. Dun, 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 dun.
Mark.
There's two of them, Happy by Pharrell and Panic at the Disco's.
That's awesome.
That's a good
All right. Staying in the media theme, a movie that inspires you, David.
Forrest Gump.
Amen. Mark.
The whole Star Wars trilogy, the whole
Nice.
Star Wars saga. Yeah.
Very good. Andrea.
Nice. And gentlemen, what would it be, David?
Can you say it one more time?
If you had a superhero power, what would it be?
A superhero power. It would be unlimited ability to learn.
Ooh,
Mark?
nice. I like that.
I always like flying, but either that or just quantum leaping. I would love to be able to be wherever I want.
That's not a bad one, Mark. All right. Who's your hero, David?
Many, many heroes, but one that sticks to mind that I go back to is Ben Franklin, the original Renaissance man.
Yes, he was. And Mark?
Again, so many different heroes, and do love Ben Franklin.
I thought you were going to say Dr. Scott Cummins.
Absolutely, he's our superhero trainer. We'll give it to Scott.
All right, Andrea.
I want to know, when you were a child, what did you want to be when you grew up, David?
Early on, I'd say doctor was on the list.
Okay. Mark?
My major in college was leisure and recreation. I wanted to play for a living, and that's what I do now.
Awesome.
Great.
Final question. What's a quote you live by, David?
A quote I live by: desire is the starting point of all achievement.
Beautiful. Mark?
We are not human beings having spiritual experiences. We are spiritual beings having human experiences.
Well, Mark and David, you both have been amplified. Love what you're doing. So glad we're a part of it. And God bless you. We look forward to a great ride in 2021. Andrea?
And thanks to Opus.Finance, the Red Carpet Connection, the Umbrella Syndicate, Voice America Influencers Channel, and Perfect Publishing. And again, always think of the keepsmilingmovement.com. When you smile both with your soul and your heart, the Keep Smiling Movement can receive funds through PayPal and other means. Just reach out to us, www.thekeepsmilingmovement.com. Back to you, Ken.
All right. This is Ken Rochon. Stay amplified. We'll see you next week.
We hope you've enjoyed this week's edition of Amplified. Be sure to join Ken Rochon
Again next Monday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time and 8 a.m. Pacific Time on the Voice America Influencers Channel.
Now, go get your message heard.